Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. We're getting our Final Fantasy XIV stream started this morning. And we're in the patches of Endwalker now. Today I'm going to focus some on getting our crafters and gatherers. Well, we've already offline gotten our gatherers leveled up quite a bit. We're going to work on crafters here too, so we can pursue those stories and get through the Endwalker stories for our crafters and gatherers. And we get through at least one level of stories. Perhaps we'll get back into the main story of the patches here. So sit tight, enjoy the stream with us, and let us know how you're doing down in the chat. Or if you'd just prefer to lurk and enjoy the atmosphere and the stream with us, by all means do that too. We're just happy to have you here. All right, so we're on our crafter. Let's see, we're on carpenter, and we've got materials made up to we're crafting out about 18. We got materials to craft about 18 collectibles for each crafter class. That should get us up into 84 or so, I think. Some of them probably to 85. Depending on what they've been doing here in the meantime. And what that'll allow us to do is at least get through the level 83 stories for each one, and possibly 85 depending on how high our collectible crafting gets us here. So let's see if we can crank out 18 of these guys here. And we'll just sit here and chat while we craft stuff out. We've got our handy dandy macro all ready here. One we commonly use across characters here for this level of crafting anyways. It's a bit of overkill for this level too, but it works. It gives us an easy way to not have to focus too strongly on what we're having to do here. All right, there's one. Have exactly 18 slots open in our inventory too, as it turns out. Those will be expanding as we use up some of the materials that we're going through here. Like there, we just used up a high quality, our stack of the few high quality dark hempen cloths that we had. So we'll be getting to the end of Endwalker, at least what's currently out for Endwalker, before too long, I suppose. Possibly within the next week or so, depending on how much time we have to spend leveling up crafters and gatherers anyways. So we'll be moving on to a new game after that, another Final Fantasy game, I think, for this slot anyways. This would be our 10th collectible here, so we're getting there, over halfway for Carpenter anyways. We're hitting about one every minute, I guess. So yeah, we'll be spending a few hours doing this, it looks like. That is, and unless we get bored, they get through, we can get some of them leveled up a bit and do at least one of the stories for crafting in the studium. We might move on just to the main story, just to give us something a little more interesting to be doing. And we could always do these collectible craftings offline too. We spent a lot of time gathering the materials we needed offline and preparing some of them. And we could do the actual crafting and just save doing the stories for the stream anyways. If I have the free time. That is the key. I've got enough extra time off screen to do this, then that's what we'll do. But I would at least like to move forward some of the crafting and gathering stories here this morning. And just 2 more for Carpenter here. Alright, let's see where we've got him. Or her, I guess. Alright. Oh, we're gonna have to turn in some collectibles, or some scripts here, it looks like. Let's see, do we want to settle for materia, or... Oh, we got all the recipes. Did we get our recipes? Let's see. Chocobo saddlebag, we didn't stuff anything there. Alright, well anyways, let's turn in as many as we can for right now before we use up some of our space for scripts here. I think that's going to be it. Let's get some scripts. Exchange. Master recipes. And let's see, we'll want oh, did we already got some of the recipes, I think. We don't have 8, 7. We could go ahead and get some. Yeah, we don't have 2, level 2. Go back and get those at some point. There's 7 and 8 we could get. There's 9. We're going to want to have 9 at some point. But let's go ahead and grab our level 7 and 8 recipes if we can. Yeah, we hadn't been really paying attention to getting those extra recipes, have we? 8. And we got some of them there. Some of the 8s anyways. And at some point, just for completeness sake, I think I'll go back and get those level 2. Oh, check it out. What we got going on here? RKO? Thank you so much for the raid. Wow. How did that stream go? I fell asleep last night, but yeah, it looked like that was going pretty well for you overall. How are y'all doing? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Pull up a chair, kick back, and enjoy the stream with us here. We're just doing some crafting right now on Final Fantasy XIV. Allie, good to see you too. How you been doing? It is going well. Thank you all so much. Hey, Yench. Good to see you here as well. All right. Yeah, stream's going fine. We're getting towards the end of Endwalker. We're going to move on to another game once we complete up to the wherever we happen to end up anyways with the patches there, but thinking about moving on to maybe Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy 1. Oh, there we go. Got an interesting voice change going on there. But anyways, yesterday we what did we do yesterday? Oh yeah, we were playing Infinite Undiscovery, and what happened was we didn't get our achievement, our compulsive achievement, unfortunately, but that's all right. You know, we'll move on to another game. We're going to be playing Radiata Stories starting tomorrow. So that'll be a new game for me in on stream anyways. I played the game a long time ago, but I don't know, I've been kind of itching to play it again, and I'm kind of on a tri-ace kick at this time, so I think I'll go through Radiata Stories and then Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile. Yeah, Lily, that was, and welcome in. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much, RKO. We love it. Yummy bits, too. Very nice. And I really appreciate that. You've done so much for me, and I appreciate that so much, RKO. Thank you so much. But let's see. Yeah, we didn't get the compulsive. I don't know why. That's, what, 2 times it now. We tried it on hard mode and failed. Tried it on infinity mode and failed. But we got everything else. We beat the Ethereal Queen easily enough, surprisingly. I thought I was going to have to boost some more for that one. But we took a run at it anyways and succeeded early on in the stream yesterday. But just fell short of getting the compulsive. Have no idea what we're missing there. So I don't know. Maybe in a couple years I'll try it again. Who knows? So we're going to move on to Radiata Stories and the other Tri-Ace games that I enjoy so much moving forward. So yeah, if you've never seen PlayStation 2 game Radiata Stories, check it out tomorrow morning, and we'll see how it goes. I remember you get to kick a lot of stuff, so that's kind of fun. That could help us take out some of our frustration from not getting the compulsive achievement yesterday. Let's see, I think I read all the books there. All right, so let's continue turning in our collectibles here. We'll get a few classes leveled up enough to do some of the other crafting stories. Our gatherers I leveled them up offline a bit, so we can go through maybe all of the gathering stories except for fishing. Just the one for mining and botany probably. Well, anyways, I just wanted to say again, welcome everybody into the stream here. You know, if you've never been here before, we certainly welcome you here. This is just a place where we chill and chat and play through a game together. And if you've got any comments, want to let us know something that's going on with you, by all means, drop it down in the chat. We're here to chat and play the games with you. Otherwise, just chill and lurk if that's your cup of tea. We're just happy to have you here and welcome in. And RKO, I know you're tired. I've already had a full night's sleep during the time you were streaming, so I know you've got to be tired and get ready for whatever you've got to do. So do what you got to do. Let's see, I have not played through all of the Manderville quests. I have on another account played through most of them, but I don't think I've done the latest series of them. Certainly haven't done any of them on this character. But yeah, there's extra stuff I could do in 14. You know, I may set aside one day or something or maybe 2 days, a day or two during the week perhaps, to just do miscellaneous stuff with 14. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of itching to move on to some other games for a little bit. Then I can come back to this one maybe. Yeah, that gets them almost to 14, almost to 85. That's good. But yeah, I am itching to move on to some other games. I've done the Manderville quests on some other characters, but not on this one. So maybe we'll do some miscellaneous stuff on 14, off and on. But I'm going to move on to a different Final Fantasy game here once we get through the stories and the current state of the patches on this one here. Alright, we got Carpenter up enough to do at least the level 83 stories. Let's see, let's move on to maybe Blacksmith, I guess, would be a good one. Do that side of things. Let's see. Yeah, did I miss any comments there? I think we got it. Yeah, if I miss any comments that you throw in there, by all means, repeat it again. This old brain doesn't always catch stuff in a timely manner, so I apologize for that up front. But yeah, definitely let me know if there's any questions I haven't answered or comments you'd like me to pay attention to. Alright, let's see, for Blacksmith then we will be making rarefied hydurium pistols. Oh boy. So we'll have to craft up that lignum vitae lumber, ametrines, and 18 ametrines, and 36 hydurium nuggets. Alright, so we want 36 of those. Go ahead and craft one for starters. And then 35. So anyways, I think I was in the middle of saying, RKO, yeah, you need to go take care of yourself. By all means, do that. I know you'll do it anyways, but just want to let you know I appreciate you dropping your friends in here with you, and take off, do your own thing, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Get some rest. There we go, got that. Let's see here. And we gotta make the ametrine, lignum vitae lumber. Oh, thank you for that. I think I hear a hydrate going on there. Is that what's happening? Yum, yum, yum. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Mm. Mm. Legend is my sweetheart. Today is her birthday too, so everybody wish Legend a happy birthday if you would. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Legend. Happy birthday to you. All right. Yeah, birthday. Let's see. All right, let's see. We got to make that lignum vitae lumber there. Got that done. Let's see here. And then some ametrine, which means chloroschist or whatever that is. Oh, there we go. So I guess we might as well make up all of that. I've got to make one first. And 72, yeah, we might need to repair first here. Yeah, it'd be a good idea to repair before we get started making 72 of those whetstones. All right, let's just kick back and let that run then. Man, this display is acting up again. Looks like. I wonder if I just got too much stuff trying to run on this display. Let's see what we can do here. it is. Let's try switching it around here a little bit. Okay, move it up here. Yeah, video interface is just a little wonky, it looks like. We'll have to check the connections later and see what's going on with that. Almost finished with these 72. All right. Got it. Let's see. All right, and then some ametrine. Do 18 of those. Actually, let's see, I don't know if I can do anything about that right now. All right, let's see, and get back over to blacksmith. We ought to be able to make up these. Oh, we better repair first, it looks like. Go ahead and sort. And we've got 15 free slots. What am I doing? I'm all turned around, aren't I? There we go. There's the mender. Oh, I gotta set that macro on everybody too, don't I? let's set that macro on everybody before I forget about it. Culinarian already has it, I think. Make sure it's the right one, I guess. Alrighty. So back to blacksmith. And carry on. I did get a bit of grinding done since Tuesday on here, but got a bunch more to do so we can get through the crafter stories. Well, that's 13. Getting there, little by little. Let's go manage our grips here a bit. We need to. Where are we at? 1500? Oh, okay. We'll turn these in. Make 3 more. And let's see, we left off with armor. Levels 8 armor we got last time. Yeah. So let's get goldsmith, leatherworker, weaver, alchemist, culinarian, and we can start getting our level 9s. I have to stash those into Chocobo saddle though, I think. Chocobo bag. Let's not get those yet. Until I can get them all, maybe. I can just stash them all in the Chocobo sack at one time. And then I'll have everything but the latest recipes, I guess. And my level 2s. Never got the level 2s. All right, 3 more of these. There we go. All right, that's the last one for blacksmith. Alright, so blacksmith is 83. Now we'd like to get either culinarian or alchemist boosted. Alchemist's already at 81. Let's see, we could do culinarian, I guess. We've got to make that dark rye flour. You know, we fished us up some northern herring yesterday, so we'd have that for culinarian here. Alright, let's make the first batch and then we'll quick synth the rest of those. Oh, we got some spirit bonds complete there. Nice. Alright. We might as well get us some material while we're here. What's that? Level 8 competence. Level 7 cunning. Level 7 competence. And another 7 cunning. Level 7 command. And an 8 cunning. And a 7 competence. Level 8 command. And the second ring gives a level 7 competence. Okay, cool. Well, that took up a bit of our inventory space. Let me go over here and toss them onto the market, I guess, real quick. There we go. Let's see what they're selling for on this server. Yeah, so-so. Alright, that should be that. Let's see. Port that now. I think we're ready to go. Oh, how much repair do we need? Maybe not. Okay, good. Alright, I think we're ready to crank through 18 of these now. there's the jacket. All right, well, let's get that one too then. And a command 7. Oh, that was the one we sold, just as is. All right. Hey, check it out. I've got a flower face going on here. uh, I'm not sure what's happening there. So strange. Still haven't figured out what randomly kicks that in there. All right, anyways, let's see, back to getting these crafted out. Just 10 more to go on Culinarian. And then I think we'll be in a position where we'll just go over and crank through a few of the crafting stories, and at least the level 83 portions anyways. See where we end up, and kind of anxious to get back to the main story from the patches. And then I can try to level up crafters some more offline, so we can crank through a level 85 stories as well. Perhaps next time then. We have a whole weekend to crank through some stuff. Gonna try something here. It messes me up. Oh well. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that didn't help anything. Alright, that's all the culinarian crafting there. Let's see what we can get here. And we got to trade in some of those scripts there so we can get more. Let's see, master recipes. Alright, let's see if we can get the level 9s here. Alrighty, got those. Oh, that's right, we got to be level 90 to use those. Let's stash those in the chocobo saddlebag for now so we can make use of that space. Alright, good, good, good. So let's turn in the last couple of those. 84. Alright, let's go do some story here. Work on, let's do the carpenter one first. And we've still got materials to level up the other classes to get them on par with the 3 that we've done, but we'll do that offline. Just so we're not spending a lot of time on stream for that stuff. Let's see what Jude has to say here. What's going on with Jude? Aha, Anne, just the woman I wanted to see. I have another request to make of you. Would you be up to the task? Yes, I could be up to the task, I think. Thank you. I need for you to craft what is to be the heart and soul of the star lens. You see, an ordinary telescope picks up on starlight, whereas the star lens captures ethereal flickers. This requires what is known as an ethereal lens. While, of course, materials of a high grade are important, it is the craftsmanship that determines quality, to which I turn to you. Alright, so we're making ethereal lens. Alright, what do we got to get for that? Ethereal lens. We need some palm lumber. 6 palm lumbers, which will be 30 palm logs. See, our botanist and miner are already at 89. We shouldn't have any trouble doing their stories. So 30 palm logs. Alright, and the next thing, we'll need some Almasty Surge, which we're going to have to buy the stuff off the market board for that. Yep. And same for Luncheon Toad Leather. We've got the yellow albumin, but we're going to need more of that, I think. I don't know if we picked up enough. Yeah, maybe we picked up enough. Forget how much we needed for our crafting. We've got enough extra to do this. We needed how much? 126. So I need to pick up a couple more of that. We'll go ahead and grab a few more, just so I don't lose what I might have to go back out anyways if I craft those other collectibles. Oh goodness, excuse me. Sorry about that. There we go. This one node will do it. Alright, back to Charlian. Old Charlian. And I'll need, what, 24 Luncheon Toad skins. I guess I'll just buy 28 down here. Alright, leather worker, make some Luncheon Toad leather. And what do we got? 2336 craftsmanship needed. Oh good, we got enough craftsmanship there. Don't worry about the quick sense failing then. Might as well make up all. Well, no, we got enough. Yeah, we have plenty of that yellow albumin now. And Almasty Surge. So 24 Almasty Purs. There's 7, 10, 15. I don't know, I'll just buy this 21 and a couple cheap ones. Alright. one of those first, and then we'll quick scent the rest. And then finally back over to Carpenter. And some palm lumber. Alright, let's see now for this one. I don't think we can use that. I don't think we can use this one. That's gonna finish it off too early, I think. Try that test and see what happens here. Oh, maybe not. Okay, well that's good. We can use that, I guess. Alright, cool. We'll do that. So I've got to make 6 of these things to turn in. Halfway there. And last one. All right, let's go give Jude the good news here. Have you managed to finish the ethereal lenses? These are what will allow us to pick up on the ethereal firmaments in the distance. I got it to 85 too. Magnificent! Even to the untrained eye, it is easy to see the craftsmanship is second to none. With this ethereal lens, we will be able to detect even the most distant of ethereal bodies. Once again, I am indebted to you. We are still in the early stages of our journey, but I hope we can continue to press forward with the same amount of fervor. And here comes Jeremiah again. Jude! Sequestering yourself in such confined quarters will eventually take a toll on your mental health. Come, there is fun to be had in the outside world. And what exactly does this fun you speak of entail? Allow me to illustrate. I began this morning with a splendid cup of freshly brewed coffee from the last stand. Shortly thereafter, we all gathered at Ox Landing to perform a public poetry recital. I have no poems to recite. 'Tis the spirit that counts. Poetry will help you learn to express yourself more fully, Jude. In fact, why don't you give it a try right now? Make sure you really put your feelings into it. I suppose I can give it a try if it means I can become a bit more like you. A soul shrouded by the dark abyss, the tears that pour forth as blood-stricken rain solidify the poison that nestles in my heart. The world returns to nothingness. think we stunned him. I regress. Perhaps you need not delve so deeply into your feelings. That aside, now you've had a taste of what our sessions entail and what it is like to live every day to the fullest. With your grades and brain, changing faculties should be fairly straightforward. By my next visit, I expect you'll have joined the Faculty of Literature and our Poetry Club. While I know Jeremir intends well, abandoning my studies in pursuit of literature would mean relinquishing my dream of locating the Azure Star. Get a hold of yourself. Please do not yell. You know I scare easily. That said, do I always appear so frazzled to you? Or perhaps this is your way of encouraging me? Either way, I joined the Studium and this association for one reason and one reason only. I cannot give up. I just wonder why Jeremir is so unrelenting in his attempts to have me withdraw from my studies. I do not understand. Astronomy was his first love. Though we were momentarily sidetracked, I would like to thank you once again for your help. I am eager to continue our work together. As am I. With you by my side, the resolve in my heart has hardened, and I feel as though the strength of a chocobo rages within me. Hey, Quee! I'm now an individual that takes time to warm up to strangers. Awesome. And let's see, level 85. Yeah, we'll hold off on that one. Let's go do the next one here. Over. What's Rarusha getting up to here? Why, hello there. Oh, thank the gods you're here. I was so worried you might not return that I couldn't focus on my work. Oh, thank you for the hydrate too. Let me get that taken care of. Thank you. Honestly, Boric, show a little faith. Anne doesn't strike me as someone who'd go back on her word. My apologies, I didn't mean anything by it. It's just that we've been turned down by so many others. As you've probably worked out by now, Boric has a penchant to worry far more than he has any right to. Please don't take anything he says too seriously. Okay. But that's enough of that for now. It's time we got back to discussing our little friend's woes. This time I would ask you to craft minuscule cogs made of gold. While examining the insides of the relic, I discovered that it was missing some, which seems to have caused all the damage we've observed. Whatever you make will need to be tough as a curl. Are you up to the task? Yes, I am. Leave it to me. Oh, it's great to know I can always count on you, Anne. Best of luck. We'll be making gold cogs. All right. All right, what do we need here now? We got to make some high durium ingots. Now, do we have enough silver ore for what we were making before? Not sure. Well, that's okay. High durium ore. We need, what? my goodness, what happened there? Alright, we're going to make 6 of those. Yikes, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright, 6 hydurium ingots, which will be 30 hydurium ores. Alright, got those, and we got to make pewter ingots. 10 ore. We got any 10 ore? Yeah, go get it off of our retainer. And 30 pewter ores. Alright, just a little ways off here. Let's see, how far away? 30 pewter ores. No, I don't need that one. Intriguing. Rarefied hydurium. That's for collectibles there. Alright. Don't need that one. Alright, there they are. $30 pewter ores. We've got the pewter ore, and we got to make 12 stone gold ingots. We need more gold ore. 12 stone gold. So 48 true gold ores. Alright, so I need some more gold ore and get the tin ore off of our retainer. Yeah, we'll grab that. 23. Tin ore. What all we got here? Titanium. We've got some titanium. Alright. Anyhow, let's see, blacksmith. Be needing to repair soon, won't we? Idurium ingots. I'll just make 5 of those. Save some of that silver. And let's see, pewter ingots. That's a goldsmith. Pewter and stone gold are both goldsmith. All right, make those. 5 more of those. Yeah, it would help if I click the amount and bump that up. And then 12 stone gold ingots. And back to blacksmith to work on that. Go ahead and sort here. We just need to make 6 of these now. Blacksmith. I better check this out to see if I'm going to have any trouble finishing too early, since he's got his master craftsman plate on there. Yeah, it looks like it ought to be okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Alright, good. Alright, let's do the real deal now. Get these knocked out, and then we'll go do this level 83. We'll finish up the level 83 story for the blacksmithing, armor, and goldsmith here. This macro is certainly overkill for this craft, but it lets me Be lazy, which I kind of like. Kick back and turn it loose. Got those done. Alright, let's go give Rurusha and Boric the good news. I have every confidence your work will be immaculate. Indeed, I very much look forward to seeing what you can do. Solid work as always. Look at the detail too. It's obvious you stand head and shoulders above your peers. The cogs were a perfect fit. Now, I would be even happier if she decided to move for us. Aha. The golden diada flinched ever so slightly. However, it soon returned to its former static state. It appears you still have work to do. Oh, well done, little one. We'll have you moving properly in no time. Don't worry. Well done? It merely flopped on the table like a dead fish. This is hardly cause for celebration. I'm growing increasingly worried that this will all come to nothing and your reputation will end up in tatters. Oh, calm down, Boric. Lest you forget, the relic was found buried with the body of what appeared to be a mage, possibly of some repute. Their tomb also contained a range of tools used by those highly skilled in the arcane arts. I'm positive that this mammoth possesses great power. Well, if we're discussing what it could be, I would say it could just as easily be a trinket or charm they kept on their person. And let us not forget the shady stories we heard about the gleaner who sold it to you in the first place. How are we meant to trust someone with a track record of peddling counterfeit wares? Good point. Boric, how many times have I told you not to hold others' pasts against them? Everyone is capable of change, and I for one remain convinced that this relic is worthy of study. It is true that a gleaner's livelihood depends on their ability to discern what is a forgery and what is the genuine article, but no one is without error, not even me. If our little friend here does turn out to be a fake, it simply means I've made one such error. Nothing more, nothing less. Although I don't believe for a moment that I have done so. After all, who will believe in me if I don't believe in myself? That's not to say I think myself infallible, mind you. Putting that aside for the moment, I shall examine our friend here and see if I can determine what problems yet remain. When next you have time to spare, and pray seek us out, and we will set about making further repairs. Sounds like a plan, Rarusha. And we're now considered a reasonable relic restorer. Good deal. All right, let's move on over to our culinary and alchemist one. And yeah, we got to set ourselves to culinary in here. And we're going to need to repair soon. All right. And my partner in panel loaf improvement. I've been researching the subject of texture, and I think I've found the cause of our powdery problem. The answer lies in the yeast. It seems the sugar content of the sweetener weakened its usual effects, preventing the dough from being fully leavened. Which means that if we can create a yeast more properly suited to sweeten dough, then our bread will be as moist as we care to make it. Knowing, however, is not quite the same as doing. While I understand the basics, formulating yeast from scratch is rather beyond my current abilities. Once more, I must call upon you to rise to the occasion. Sorry. That was a yeast joke, I take it. All right, they've been updated. Let's see what we're making here. So we got to make panel loaf yeast. All right. And what do we need for that? Whoops. Panel loaf yeast. All right, some palm sugar, some amra, Luna Tender Blossom. Don't have those, and certainly don't have those, do we? All right, so we got to make 24 panel loaf or palm sugars, which is 8 iterations of this, which is 48 palm syrups. We've got 8 already. That's good. Let's go gather some, make sure we have at least 48 palm syrups. "48 palm syrups." Let's see, knocking these out well. We'll go check out the mining and botany story, and possibly the fishing story. And may have time to continue on with some of the story from the patches here. Don't gather armor. We could fight these things over here and get us 6. I wonder how much we have to pay for them. See. We'll try a few. Let's see how this works out at all or not. Where are they? Yeah. I think it's these, yep. Do they have those big old things on the backs of their tail? Didn't get any there. Nothing. Well, the drop rate isn't helping. Isn't being very good for me. Huh. All right. Nothing. Alright, we're just gonna go buy them then. Oh well. I remember before I farmed these things and it was like at least every other one was dropping a 1 or 2 of those Amras, but oh well. Not today. Luck is just not with me today. Anywho, back to Culinarian. We need to buy Amra and Luna Tender Blossoms. I don't want 99. I guess I'll buy 48. Why do they think people would want so many of those things? I mean, I cannot imagine. Tender Blossom. I'll buy those 10, I guess. Alright, and we gotta make the palm sugar. But you know, you could buy up a stack of those, 99 of them, and then just sell them in batches of smaller. You know, if you got enough space on your retainers for selling that stuff. Sell them for a higher price too, because people will buy the smaller stacks when they just need, you know, a dozen or half dozen or whatever, and make money on it. Let's sort the inventory and then get to work on these 6. And what we'll do later also is, or actually off stream, is get our crafters leveled up enough to where everybody's over 85. And if I've got the free time, I'll just keep on cranking them up to close to 90 or so. And then we'll be able to get through more of the stories without spending too much time on stream doing gathering and crafting and stuff and leveling up. We've already got the gatherers to that point. Hey, Attack Chicken, welcome. How are you doing today? Not bad. Good to hear. Good to hear. We are, I'm not sure where we're at on the patches here. Either towards the end of 6.2 or right around 6.3, I think. I don't need any mats. No, thanks. I've been farming them offline, and I've got most of what I need, I think, but I appreciate the offer. Yeah, I know what you mean. They do take up a bit of space. And that's what I'm fighting here too. I really need to stick some in the retainers, but I'm managing. Yeah, that's what I do too. I just sell the stuff I don't need. Make a little bit of pocket change anyways. Yeah, me too. Definitely a hoarder. Yeah, don't need 10 gil, need 10K. Yeah, I tell you, when I first started playing, it was very common. I would hold on to everything, and it really was gut-wrenching to have to make a decision as to what to let go of, but now it's become a lot easier. Yeah, 640 stuff is expensive. Yeah, that's why I hope well, at least on my other characters, I've got them up where they can gather all that stuff, and I can craft and gather all that stuff. On this character, I'm not going to worry so much about that. I'm just going to get the crafters and gatherers up to 90, finish their stories, and possibly offline go ahead and get them the new blue gear that's available for each one. That'll get them all set for the next expansion that comes out. You know, if I choose to stream this character when the new expansion comes out again. Oh, cool. Good idea, yeah. Do the Sky Builder stuff. Easy to farm, sells like crazy. Alright, let's see what DeBroya here has got. I'm afraid our bread will never be all that it can be if we cannot solve this yeastly dilemma. Let us solve the yeastly dilemma together. Now, this is some potent looking yeast. Trust me, after the hours I spent staring at such things during my studies, the quality is obvious. Thanks to all your hard work, the third test batch of Panaloaf turned out just as moist as we'd hoped. And all without compromising the original integrity of its nutritional content. It was well received by the clientele at the last stand, and even our difficult-to-please regular gave it his seal of approval. I would, however, like to hear the opinion of the, to my knowledge, foremost gourmand in Charlayan. I speak of Master Dickon. Oh, Dickon, Dick off, Dick on, Dick off, the Dicker. All right. The owner of the last stand. Everything I know about gourmet cooking I owe to that man. Come, why don't we go and see what he has to say? Awesome. Yeah, you leveled Miner to 90 by running Diadem for hours. Yeah. And earn about 3 million in a week. That's cool. Master Dickon, what did you think of the third batch? It's a decent loaf, all right. Certainly a far cry from what you started with. That very first sample tasted like a sponge fished out of a sewer ditch. I expect you have your new friend to thank for this sudden leap in progress. I swore a vendetta against that foul-tasting evil. Oh, my dear Anne, you are a gourmet after my own heart, a crusader for culinary quality. Be that as it may, you yet have work to do. You've worked wonders with the taste and the texture, but there's no aroma. It needs a savory scent to draw you in and set your mouth to watering. So it isn't smelly enough. The road to gastronomic excellence is never-ending, it seems. But if that is what it takes to earn your full approval, then we must bake on. Bake on, bake off, bake on, bake off, the baker. Ah, you remind me of old Mervyn. He was the fellow who built this place and dedicated his life to bringing fine food to Charlayan. That life ended before he'd truly accomplished his goal, and the last stand passed on to me. Even now, gourmet cooking remains something of a foreign concept in this nation. It's the kind of place where puffed-up experts like your professor label their nutritional experiments the perfect meal, as if anything with such a revolting flavor could ever be deemed perfect. You'll level crafters soonish, and focusing on DPS. Yep, there you go. Listen, the last stand was named so for a reason. We're a cultural outpost, the final defense against those who would condemn Charlayan's diet to blandness and monotony. If you share Mervyn's dream, and I believe you do, then I implore you to carry on his legacy. Yeah, let's do it. After hearing what Master Dickon had to say, I'm more determined than ever to make a truly perfected Panalope. As before, allow me some time to cogitate on the problem, and then we can see about adding a tantalizing aroma to the next batch of bread. Sounds like a plan. And we're now an indispensable baker. Cool. All right, let's see. Next, let's set ourselves up as a botanist. I really need to repair. Let me go do that here too. Alright, I can't remember where we left off with miner and botanist. We might have done this 83 already. Let's see. No, we didn't. Okay. You've come at a good time. I do believe the professor has another assignment for you. Good to see you, my friend. We were in the midst of summarizing what we've learned living an approximation of the Hanish lifestyle. While we commit our thoughts to parchment, I would ask you to acquire a few things we need for our next sampling of culture. And where did you have in mind exactly? Garlemald. The Empire? Oh my. I certainly wasn't expecting that. Do you truly believe there is aught we can learn from them to improve our way of living? I understand your trepidation, Hinageshi. While their history is filled with countless invasions and much suffering, there may yet come a day where we live in peace alongside the people of Garlemald. Though I realize how unlikely that may seem at present. But the winds of change blow fiercely now, and there may soon come a day when they seek shelter here in Sharlayan. Knowing they cannot manipulate ether as we do, I wish to better understand their culture should we need to play the hospitable host. Now I feel like a fool for thinking you were only pursuing this project to improve the lives of those who presently call Sharlayan home. Such genius! To that end, I would ask you procure a most essential staple of Garlean living. I speak of an ore unique to the region and a certain fruit there that has adapted to grow even in the coldest of climates. Oh, and do not fret, you do not need to bring back both, one or the other will suffice. The Garlean staples around Camp Broken Glass. Okie doke. So I've got to collect just 6 of them, I think. Yep. All right, let's go grab us some Garlean staples. There it is. And it is right there near Camp Broken Glass. Practically inside Camp Broken Glass. Okay, come on, controller. There we go. There's Garlean staple. Let's see what we can coax out of this. Here. Pretty good. The wheat. All right. Well, that's 2 of them there of super high quality or super collectability. Well, this one, on the other hand, we'll see. If we can get it above the yellow, we'll be doing good, I guess. last one, I don't know if it can make it really. No, I don't think so. Let's just collect those two. All right. Good. Gathering attempts are boosted on that. So let's use up our scrutiny. See how high we can push this one. 2. Oh, that's nice. Can't get there on this one, can we? Oh well. Ah, good. Meticulous did not reduce the integrity, so let's see if we can push that up there. Good. We can get 2 more at the highest collectability there. Cool beans. Alright, let's go do that one. Alrighty, good. Get the level 83 quest for a miner and botanist knocked out. Go take a look and see what's involved for Fisher. And after that, let's move on to some more regular story. We've been relying on the tomes in Numenon and existing theses in order to accurately emulate foreign cultures, and I have realized that there are a great many things you would never discover without experiencing them firsthand. Goodness, I did not expect you to bring back specimens of such quality. This will make our work much easier. This fruit is fantastic at growing in even the coldest conditions. Oh, I can't wait to experience Garlean cuisine for myself and see firsthand how it's been shaped by their climate. Professor Tankin and Hinageshi take the items you brought them and set to work emulating Garlean culture. I must say, I'm warming up to these cozy clothes and Magitech heaters. All of this would definitely improve life in Sharlayan. Alas, we've only been granted permission to use the heaters for the duration of our research. We'll have to return them to the studium after we're done. That said, I think I just felt a bead of sweat trickle down my neck. Perhaps I won't miss them as much as I thought. Then I take it you have no need of this piping hot Garlean cuisine cooked with Magitech kitchen utensils? Oh, Professor, no, I would gladly sample any food prepared with skillful hands such as yours. Provided one is given the necessary instruction, even a child could operate these Magitech devices. And at the heart of all Magitech lies ceruleum, a most efficient and convenient energy source, indifferent to the whims of nature like wind and hydraulic power. Its mass production allowed the Empire to bring Magitech to the people at large, with further refinements to their manufacturing process affording them surplus time and manpower, which they applied to even greater innovations. That said, the importance of alternatives to ceruleum cannot be ignored. It is, after all, a finite resource. Should we completely squander the world's resources, we will inevitably suffer for our lack of foresight. Professor, this looks exquisite. I thought as much when we were studying Hanish culture, but you really are a fantastic cook. You flatter me, Hinegeshi. I would be nothing without the recipes that guide me, although it does warm my heart to see you enjoy my cooking so. There are many, many dishes I still wish to try my hand at, and I would be delighted if you were willing to sample them as well. Oh, it would be my pleasure. Is it my imagination, or has the professor been more affectionate towards me of late? It really makes me wonder what will become of our relationship when his research reaches its conclusion. Oh, but I must stop daydreaming. There is yet work to be done. And we're now a novice matchmaker. And level 83. Oh, hello again. Did you notice the fish tank, by the way? I went ahead and put one of my research specimens in it. Quite the looker, wouldn't you say? I tell you, so many things have fallen into place ever since you showed up. I'm having the time of my life analyzing all this data. I mean to continue my analysis of ether lice, of course, but I will task another gleaner with such mundane tasks. Instead, I'd like to make full use of your skills by having you visit an area I've long been fascinated with. I speak of the oceans surrounding Thavnair. I have reason to believe there was a significant change in the ether currents in those waters that occurred around the time of the calamity. Professor Nulla shared with me some data from 20 years prior, and I would compare it with current data to ascertain if I am correct. Alright, well, I can help out. The waters around Thavnair, you see, have long been one of the focal points of Professor Nulla's research. I wish to study them more to honor his work, whilst also using it as a starting point for my own. Before you go, however, a word of warning. Ever since the calamity, the region is notorious for shipwrecks. I realize that you are a seasoned professional, but I fully understand if you do not want to take on the risk. Consider it done. Oh, thank you! I knew I could count on you. Anyhow, I'd like you to fish the same species that Professor Nulla studied 20 years ago, to wit, the Garjana wrasse. Or rasa, I don't know. According to the books the professor gave me, they live near the Great Runoff and are known to enjoy nibbling on shrimp balls. And that should do it. Be safe out there, yes? And I think I already have shrimp balls from fishing up my northern herring. Yep, that's what I've got. Only 30 though. We'll top off our stack. And make sure where we're going for this one here. He said the Great Runoff, and that's over in, yeah, that's just inside the Great Work. Easy enough. And we'll need 6 of those collected. Make sure we turn on collection here before we start fishing. Right. Grab some more shrimp balls. There we go. Head over to the Great Work, turn on collection. There we go. And remember to use our identical cast. Yeah, we'll have to make sure we remember that. Cut down on the time here if we can. There's one. All right, we'll take that one and do identical cast. Yep. Well, that'll help us catch a second one real quick. Which should get us to 33 1/3% of the ones that we need. Excellent. Alright, let's see if we can nab another one so we can get two at a time. It's a double banger. The Gargana Ras is a double banger. So if you've just recently joined us, what we're doing is we're doing the level 83 Crafters and Gatherers stories here. We're already in the patches of around towards the end of 6.2 or maybe close to 6.3 anyways. And I think if we can get this fishing knocked out here, we'll go, there we go, that might be one. We'll finish this story and then we'll go do some more of the patches on our dancer. Oh, that should be a good one. Oh, very nice. Collectability is fairly high on that. Alright, identical cast to get us to 4 out of 6 that we need. That identical cast is so awesome once you get it. What level is it? 79. Level 79. Oh yeah, nice. Alright, we just need to nab another one so we can use identical cast as well, and we'll be finished with the fishing portion here. And go do the story, finish up the story, and then we'll head on back over to Camp Broken Glass to continue our main story. That's pretty good progress for today. Get all 3 of the crafting stories done at level 83, and both of the gathering stories done at level 83. And we've got all weekend. Coming up Saturday and Sunday mornings, we'll be doing Final Fantasy XIV, seeing how far we get through that. So if we could knock out, somehow manage to knock out up through the level 88 stories for Crafters and Gatherers, as well as make great progress on the patch story too, we'll be doing fine. Getting towards the end of our adventure here. Once we finish everything up through 90, finish all the patches, we'll be moving on to a different game. Another Final Fantasy game. And I'm still trying to decide which one I'm going to start with. But, it'll either be Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy 1 more than likely. Monitors are doing strange things today. Alright, come on, let's get that last one here so we can identical cast it. Finish this off. And we got some decent experience during this outing too for Fisher. It should get them over 85, so they'll be able to do the next story when we get around to it. Ah, good. There's the last one we had to nab. And now let's do an identical cast so we can grab the final one. And one of the nice things about identical cast is even if you miss the fish, you're not able to catch it, it'll still keep that buff on there until you finally do reel it in or give up one. There doesn't seem to be any timer on it. All right, we're good. Let's finish that up. Back over to Old Charlian. Have you managed to reel in any rasa? According to my references, they live in relative abundance near the Great Runoff and favor the taste of shrimp balls. Speaking of which, how do you plan to travel to Thavnir? I suspect teleportation magics would be the most convenient way, if sadly not one available to me. In either event, do take care. Sure, I've already done it. Got him to 85. Dear me, what an impressive specimen. This should allow me to collect data as complete as Professor Nella's from 2 decades ago. I can't wait to compare my findings. Well, I dare say I've more than enough samples now. Pray, wait for just a moment. I'm going to ask Professor Nella to take a look. It's not every day that you ask after me, Talaka. I trust this means that your research is coming along well? Better than I could have ever imagined. As a matter of fact, I was hoping to hear your thoughts on my latest findings. Comparing my data with yours from 20 years ago, I can say with confidence that the concentration of ether in the area did indeed show an increase around the time of the calamity. From these numbers, I would posit that smaller fish species in the area have increased in abundance several-fold. The Garjana rasa in particular is known for protecting itself from predators by creating disturbances in the surrounding ether. A population increase of such scale would undoubtedly result in a dramatic impact on its habitat. Which would go a long way to explaining the countless shipwrecks. The sheer number of these fish would surely play havoc with ships' ether compasses. Outstanding work, Talaka! Of course, more data will be needed to prove your assertions as fact. Should it hold true, however, this could be a discovery of no small import. Come to think of it, I remember you showing considerable interest in my research into the seas around Thavnir. What exactly was it that drew you to my work? Oh, it's just, well, I always found the figures somewhat unnatural. Call it a hunch, but I couldn't help but feel like it warranted further research. Ah, now that's the true spirit of a scholar. Even the most epic-making of discoveries often started from observation of a simple irregularity or curiosity. With that intuition and power of observation, you're going to go places, Talaka. I knew my faith in you was not misplaced. I am? You flatter me, Professor. Take care not to let it go to your head. Your potential will only be stifled if you allow yourself to be content with minor progress and faint praise. Of course, Professor. I will redouble my efforts and work harder than ever to deliver results. And on that note, I'd best get to work summarizing my findings for inclusion in my thesis. If I am able to identify an explicit correlation amongst the post-calamity change in ether concentration, the explosion of the fish population, and the increase in shipwrecks, it will go a long way toward proving my theory correct. Of course, I'll be needing more fish specimens before that can happen. Fair warning, I might have to send you to even more hazardous locales. And yet I'm sure you're up to the challenge, yes? Oh yes, most definitely. Splendid! I swear, this is the most invigorated I've ever felt about my research. Now, where to start? A formidable fisher. Very nice. Alright, let's switch back to Dancer now. And we gotta go find Alice, it looks like. Back over here. I've got some fish I need to descent. Let's do that here before we... Here we go. Before we go any further, yeah, this will bump us over 300 descent skill for culinarian. Slowly but surely making more progress on that. Oops. Well, I guess it finished. Alright. I moved myself slightly. Golden Barramundi. Okay. There we go. All right, let's get going here.
What was it you wished to talk about?
Why do you help these people? What is it that you stand to gain?
I'm sorry?
You don't act on behalf of a higher power, nor are you bound by a contract. In spite of this, you help them. Why?
And there I thought it was something serious. I help them because I want to. Because it's the right thing to do.
But what do you stand to gain? You didn't answer the question.
Didn't I? I followed my heart. What I got out of it came after. Was there anything else? If not, let's keep moving.
Right. To act not out of obligation or in pursuit of gain. To simply live. And they survive like this.
We should get back to it, but before we do, are you all right, Zero? Did I say something that confused or upset you? No, I'm simply trying to understand your perspective. If you wish to continue, I am ready and able. Well, that's a relief. This isn't the sort of place you want to mull over things. It's not much farther to Tapper's Den. I doubt we'll have much trouble finding an engineer when we arrive, so let's speak with the first one we spot. All right, corn. Oh, we need these Ilsabardian Tursus too for our hunt marks here. We'll go ahead and knock them out. And need one more. All right, 15 sacks of nuts. Well, that's another place I could go check on getting some gear too. All right, spirited engineer. Wait, I know you. You're the one who roughed up the guards. After you left, your contingent friends came along. Our lives are a lot easier now thanks to them. They understood our plight and offered to help, whether we wanted to stay here or return home. For that, we're truly grateful. We're grateful to you too, Alice. The trip across the lake is hardly pleasant, but you make it all the same to bring us provisions. Oh, don't mention it. We're just glad we can help. That said, we were actually hoping to ask a favor of you today. We need a Magitech snowcraft repaired, the one abandoned in Cerulia Ingens. We were told you might be up to the task. Ah, so you want to ride the mammoth. That's what we took to calling the crafts on account of their size. As often as I use them on rigs, I know a thing or two about their maintenance. I'll see if I can get your mammoth roaring again. It's the least I can do to repay your kindness. Wonderful. Please come with us back to Camp Broken Glass and we'll take it from there. So far so good, Anne. Let's be on our way. Welcome back. I presume this is the engineer who will help us with the craft? You got it. I'll do everything I can to get her up and running again, but I doubt I'll be able to do so quickly, at least on my own. The mammoth is big and so are its parts. Some strong back should make the work go faster. You have ours. Yeah, I can see Ashtola just lugging something huge on her back. You've finished learning about the mountain, I take it? Aye, we have a solid grasp of that area, as well as the site of the snowcraft. My back is perhaps not as strong as some. There, okay, well I'm glad they recognize that. But I should be glad to stand guard for void scent and other unruly wildlife. Yeah, we each gotta play to our strengths. Good idea. Much obliged, miss. Then let's all head over to the mammoth and assess what needs fixing. They have matters here well in hand, which means we can resume our duties. Would you care to assist us, Anne? Sure. How about you, Zero? I will assist you as well, as payment for answering my question. It's hardly something that demands payment, but we'd be glad for your contribution nonetheless. And we got some more unending codex entries. My thanks again for agreeing to help. The Ilsabard contingent brings in shipments of food, medicine, and other necessities by airship. We have yet to deliver a share of supplies to Tertium, and I would appreciate it if one of you could assist us with the task today. I'll do it. Well, Anne, it looks like you're with me then. Void scent sightings have been increasing by the day, which is why I had a mind to go out and patrol the Eblin Rime. Shall we? Indeed, let's do it. Let's get down there. Void scent were spotted here not long ago. Considering their proximity to Camp Broken Glass, everyone is understandably concerned. But hopefully not for much longer. You follow this road eastward and I'll have a look to the north. If you should encounter any void scent, I won't begrudge you for dispatching them without me. Well, that's mighty nice of you, I guess. Let's see here. Void scent, void scent. There they are. Big purple glowy event point. Survey, 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 survey says. Oh, check it out. All right. Hitting them. Sure. Oh, well. Yeah, I guess we were. Yeah, I know. You wanna get in on that, don't you? Oh, and we got more. Huzzah. That's it. And let's see, there's another one over here. There, let's do that. You survey your surroundings, but do not spy any errant void scent. Alright. Do not spy any void scent. Alright.
All finished, are we? Good. The cold doesn't let up out here, does it? They've the means to keep everyone warm at Camp Broken Glass and Tertium. But the measures are still only temporary. Subsisting on charity. Dreading the day the sympathy of others is exhausted. It's no way to live. They need lasting safety and security. Though things will never be as they once were. If we can restore a modicum of normalcy to their lives, maybe that will be enough for them to move forward. If we're to achieve that, we have to work harder. I have to work harder.
Yeah, just try not to overdo it, eh?
Oh? Oh, come now. You think I don't know my own limits? Still, I appreciate your concern. Well, our work here is done. We should be heading back. I hope Alphano and Zero haven't gotten into any trouble. I cannot imagine how awful it must have been to serve as Xenos' avatar. To not only suffer him, but so much else. She's a fighter, all right. Like you and me.
Meanwhile, at Tertium,
Thank you, miss. Thank you. This feels strangely familiar.
Excuse me, Alphino. My wife, she's come down with a high fever. Do you think you could take a look at her?
Of course. Give me a moment. Zero, may I leave the rest here to you?
Fine by me.
Thank you again for your help. Zero, was it? I take it you're one of Alphino's comrades?
Comrade? We've entered into a cooperative pact, if that's what you mean.
Pact? No,
Okay.
no, nothing so formal. What I mean is, you must know each other well. Be on good terms, enjoy each other's company, that sort of thing.
Then no, he's not my comrade. I have none. Nor will I ever, I think.
Oh.
Did I say something odd?
You could say that.
No, not at all. On the contrary, it makes sense. When Alphino and the contingent first arrived, we rejected them out of hand. Whatever they may have claimed, they were the enemy. Savages with their savage ways. To accept their help was to admit defeat. But no matter how poorly we treated them, they didn't turn their backs on us. They stayed and listened. That's just the kind of people they are. Makes sense they'd get along with someone like you who tries to push others away.
Get along. I'm upholding my part of the bargain. There's nothing more to it than that.
If you say so. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten why I came. Are you hungry? We all get rations, and considering the work you're doing, you're as good as one of us.
I am running low on ether. Very well.
Azim Steppe-style dumplings. Buds, they call them.
Yum.
Never had a dumpling. It's like a kind of bread stuffed with a filling. Meat or vegetables usually, that you bake or steam. We have our own recipes in Garlemald too. My mother liked to make them. My brother and sister always fought over the jam-filled ones. Just think of it as bread, all right? I should warn you though, they're spicy. Helps them keep longer, I assume. Too much for the children to handle though.
Interesting.
Interesting good, or interesting...
I don't know much about taste. Not anymore. But I do feel a sensation in my mouth.
Is that a bad thing?
Not necessarily.
That's enough for me. I've heard it said that spices are more akin to fire than flavors. Perhaps that makes them easier to understand.
Oh, Eulus. Getting acquainted with Zero, are we?
Um, uh, I suppose I am.
No harm in that. Acquaint away.
Ah, everyone is here. Excellent. Thank you all for your hard work. I've just finished up myself. Shall we go and find Estinian?
Alphino! Alize!
What is it? Crisis du jour? An unforeseen bargain. Okay. Forgive me the interruption, but I come with grave news. A horde of Void Scent are approaching from the mountains to the east. Their numbers are beyond anything we've ever seen. What? But Ishtola and the others? Anyone outside of Tertium is in danger. We must find and bring them all here at once. Can we count on your aid, Zero? I've already settled the debt for my question. I'm not obligated to help. What's more, death in this world is absolute. You asked me to put my life on the line. Without suitable payment, I will do no such thing. That's fair. What do we have to offer that might be enough? You're right, Zero. You're not obligated to help, and I wouldn't presume otherwise. Nevertheless, we are in need. Assuming the booze I gave you is worth anything, would you at least be willing to stand watch at this encampment? That way, more of us will be able to go out and see the people to safety. Very well. Unless we come under attack, I'll do no more than stand watch. I dare say Tertium will be safe enough with Zero here. Let us go and find Ishtola and the others, and assist with the evacuation. Ah, okay, a big glowy event point thing here. Tertium will be fine. Euless and his people have weathered far worse. We must make haste to the snowcraft, where our friends and the engineer should be. Given their position, they may soon find themselves at the mercy of the Void Scent. If it comes to it, we must be prepared for battle. I'm ready, don't you worry. How about you, Anne? This is going to be cutscenes and sequences. All right, well, yeah, I think we've got enough time. We can try this at least. And we'll have to fight in battle. Our progress will be saved at certain points. Okay, we'll see what happens. Item level 630.
Report.
Lost contact. When? Void sent. I'd bet my life on it. Understood. I'll investigate at once. A unit transporting supplies has gone silent en route to Broken Glass. I will go and search for it. Stay here and keep watch. But be ready to answer my call.
If it was Void sent, you'd be a fool to go alone. They'll find you before you find your men, and then they'll devour you as well.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps I don't stand a chance, but I can't just abandon them.
I can't repay you for the bread if you're dead. I'll go.
What? No! I couldn't possibly ask you to do that.
I'm far better suited to dealing with Voidsent. It makes sense. Or do you mean to say you'd rather I stay here because you can't protect this place on your own?
Fine. Just don't do anything stupid. Promise me.
Damn these demons!
Return to the camp. Now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Kindred, why do you interfere? Ah, of course. You sold your soul to feed.
I have taken bread, but my soul is forever mine.
Alright, I assume we're going to be fighting as Zero. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Nightmare Scythe combo. Alright. Infernal Slice combo. There's Bloodbath, good old Bloodbath. Engravement, 15-second recast, delivers a jumping attack. Okay. And then this is 25 recast, unexpected damage to target and all enemies. Alright, that's my AoE then. I can periodically do. Let's give it a try, see what happens. Alright, let's see, let's, I don't know, let's do this.
A deal is a deal. I cannot let you pass. More of them. Still more.
Holy crap. Alright, well we are, whoops, yeah, I should have been looking away from him, shouldn't I? doing? I'm not sure what those are doing. Okay. I wonder if I needed to stand on those or something. Well, that's doing an AoE too. That's cool. Oh, well, I'm not getting that, am I? Ooh, I did.
Not good.
That's not good. Sinister Spear. I don't know. Do I need to stand in this or what? Let's try it and see. Or is that going to kill me? Oh, maybe so. Oh, I couldn't get over there in time. Ooh, I wish I could.
I can't.
Oh, okay. Forced knockout, I guess.
How big must the gate be for their light to come through? Is this it then? Just like that time. When light still shone upon the world. When the Contra Memoria still raged.
Stand aside if you value your life.
We're only after women and wine. Darkness can take the rest.
You're not taking another step towards that village.
Stupid girl. You were warned.
And now we can get back to our business.
Get up! Get up, damn you! Too weak. I need help. Someone, please. The same mistakes, the same ends. Again and again. What should I? What could I have done? What? Who? You. What are you doing here?
Y'shtola and Estinian had matters well in hand, so we went where we were needed.
Can you stand?
You're not finished yet, Zero. Let's fight together.
All right. I will let it burn. This fire in my breast. Let it burn and rage and guide.
Okay. Coordinate with your comrades and defeat the Void Sent Horde. Let's see. Yeah, we'll coordinate with the wheel. There we go. Let's do that. Alright. Okay, let's,
Thank goodness we're not too Can you still fight?
Warming up!
My strength is spent. I'll only get in your way.
Chin up! We'll get through this together!
Split up!
which one's coming down?
Stay sharp.
Watch out!
Thanks, buddy.
I will repay this debt.
First half. Oh. Over here, okay. That's not going to be good. Yeah, I was a little bit late there. Ouch. Thanks, y'all, for healing me. That thing again? Yes, yep. Those are big ones. That's not going down.
This has gone on long enough. I will
guess somebody's going to do a big mistake.
Let's fight at this point.
What are we doing? I guess I'm going to get past this guy. Be in there with them.
I am your end.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Alright.
Well done.
It is. It's kind of wild, BG. How you doing today, Culture? Yeah, I mean, I got no idea what I'm doing. This is the first time I've been through this particular part of the passage here. So we're just kind of playing it by ear. See if we can recognize what we should be doing. Just about done. That's good. Oh, that's it. Oh, good. Well, we made it.
You did well to find me out here.
We have Eulus to thank for that. He was quite worried when he called.
There would have been more casualties if not for you.
No. If it was not for you and the others,
Well, let's not fuss over details. We should return to Tertium. Can you make it that far?
I think so.
Zero, are you all right?
Well enough. No void scent struck here, did they?
No, and there weren't any more casualties thanks to you.
What are you doing?
You'll have no debts to repay, if that's what you're worried about. If anything, I owe you a week's worth of boots.
All right. Zero's convalescing aboard the train. Euless has already given her something to eat, so I suppose all we can do is wait. I can't help but wonder, though, what possessed her to go and fight all those Voidsent on her own? Not that I know the going rate for such things, but I doubt one booze would suffice. I think someone has been a bad influence on her. Oh, I'm just joking. Or am I? In any case, many people owe her their lives. I'll be sure to thank her when she's back on her feet. Skill speed. King of the Mountain. As Alice said, many people owe Zero their lives. This is not her world, nor her battle to fight, yet she risked life and limb for us nonetheless. That will not be soon forgotten. Now then, I expect that our friends will return soon. Once everyone is gathered, we can take stock of the situation. Alright, well, let's take stock of the situation. Waiting, 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 and more waiting. Apologies for the delay. I finished replenishing my ether. Full glad am I to hear it. We must thank you again, Zero. Indeed, many are still alive because of you, those soldiers not least of all. How fared you? Better than I did, by all accounts. We had to contend with our fair share of Voidsent en route to the snowcraft, but we had the benefit of numbers. With their help, we quickly dispatched all the Voidsent that came our way. Thankfully, they stay dead in our world. We were trying to decide what to do next when we received word about the transport, which is how Alice, Anne, and I came to find you. While the immediate threat has been addressed, we cannot rest easy yet. For Voidsent to appear in such numbers, we must assume that a void gate has indeed been opened nearby. Meaning, more of them can come through at their leisure. It seems the best course of action is to investigate Lapis Manalis, as you intend. What is the state of the snowcraft? Nearly operational, I believe. Britra is with the engineer, who is hard at work as we speak. Why don't we join them in Cerulia Ingens? Finally, a chance to go on the offensive. I would join you as well. I wouldn't dream of refusing you, but what did you have in mind for payment? Payment won't be necessary. I will do this because I want to. You have kindled something within me, a compulsion, a desire to act that has been burning since you came to my aid out in the snow. I do not understand it, but I wish to, and to that end I will heed it. Then perhaps I'll understand your answer. I would also like to join you in tracing the void scent to their origin, though that would mean neglecting my duties here. Don't worry about us. Between my people and the contingent, we can keep things running well enough. Just find where the void scent are coming from and see that they stop. Take care, Zero. I will. And where's the spirited engineer? He's out elsewhere. All right, well, we'll finish up here for today then. We need to get moving on with some other stuff, I think. But thank you all, everybody, for hanging out here with me today. I appreciate your time, and I'm going to see if I can find a place to raid into here. So just a moment, and we'll spread the love to another channel here. Let's see who we got going on today. All right. Yeah, let's head on over to Rinvello again today. He's got Final Fantasy X in progress, it looks like. All right, we'll be inbound in about 10 seconds or so, but I hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. And we hope to see you next time. We're starting Radiata stories tomorrow morning, and we'll be doing more Final Fantasy over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But here we go.